episode 113 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
Alright guys, so last episode inside the category wheel that we were spinning, because I don't know when the movie episode we just recorded is going to air. We got category Z. That time I got Reincarnated as a Slime. Also known as Tensura, which is a much shorter name, is a Japanese light novel series written by Fuse and illustrated by Mitzvah about a salaryman who is murdered, whatever. Serialized online between 2013 and 2016 on the user-generated novel publishing site something.
That's the manga, right?
Yeah, but yeah. Light novel, but it was serialized and published online between then.
So
that's pretty cool.
What was the anime?
The anime, that's a good question. Scroll down. There's a lot of anime, apparently.
There you go, anime.
2018 to present, so I guess...
Well, there's definitely a season.
Yeah, there were more episodes coming out. So we watched the first season, then there's 5 OVAs, then there's another season that's airing at the moment.
There's a 24.92 and a 24.5.
I already watched the 24 episodes and the 0.5. That's all crap. You don't need to watch any of that.
I just skimmed through them.
Yeah, I did too. I clicked on it and I skimmed through it and I was like, oh, this is nothing important.
We'll get that.
Before we get any farther, there's a point in time when this will make sense later, where the slime that was reincarnated makes mangas. Did you read and did you recognize the one that I'm about to bring up?
No,
it makes sense.
I did not look at the mangas.
One of them, it showed the full cover for a solid 2 seconds, was Land of the Lustrous.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that was pretty... I wanted to bring it up now because when we just did the Lupin episode, there was a Lupin manga in there. Mm-hmm. And we watched this, and then there's a Land of the Lustrous, which is another really good anime, but he was printing manga back then for someone, and because he can print them. We'll get into it. But that was pretty cool. You know, he was printing all the good ones.
Well, Land of the Lustrous is an excellent show and deserves more than what it got.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So what's the premise of this show before I get into my little spiel?
It's a weird premise. Someone dies in our world, and he gets reincarnated as a slime in this fantasy world type world.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a game or
They refer to it as a game many times. But it doesn't look like a game at all.
No, because there's no one controlling it, because it's a fantasy world.
And every time they talk about games and levels and skills, it seems like off comments.
Yeah.
Except for the skills. The skills don't seem like off comments.
It's very confusing.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. But essentially, it's a fantasy world dimension place that sort of has game rules. Like not necessarily video game, but maybe like a D&D type world game.
Yes.
Yeah, it sort of follows those rules a bit, but only when it wants to.
More of a tabletop rule than it is a video game.
So he reincarnates as this slime, and he slowly realizes over the course of 4 episodes that he can do some crazy shit.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I want to point out right here and now, I get why people like this show.
Yeah, so do I. I can understand it. I didn't like it that much.
I was going to say, but I hated it.
I didn't hate it. It was just, it was so boring.
Well, yeah.
And my main issue with this show being boring, and we talked about it in the first, because we'll watch an episode or two by ourselves together at the end of the recording. My whole issue with these kinds of shows is the main character gets so overwhelmingly overpowered, there's no tension anymore.
Well, yeah, normally I don't feel that like you do, but I felt it so much in this one.
It bothers me. I want there to be real tension. I want there to be a threat. If you're going to have a fighting anime, there needs to be a threat that people can die.
Yeah, but this was even more egregious than normal, though, because, Goku and Luffy, they're overpowered, and sure, but, they keep...
At least Goku dies.
Yeah, they keep fighting extremely more powerful things. But nothing's really more powerful than this slime.
I guess he kind of runs into it very late in the anime. Very late in the anime, like episode 20 or something, he starts to run into things that are stronger than him, and he realizes he probably can't beat them.
Yeah. But the other problem I have with the show is that he can talk anybody into being his friend.
Yeah, it's Goku syndrome to fucking 11 is what it is.
People want to kill Goku. Frieza, you could not talk Frieza out of it.
No, we couldn't.
There is not a single enemy in this.
Frieza does become an ally in Super.
Well, I've never seen Super, so it's not canon to me. Not canon to me.
It's unfortunately canon. Anyway.
But my point is, there is no lasting antagonist because they're all his friends.
Yeah.
And not only are they his friends, they all worship him.
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of get why we'll get to, I guess, how he comes across him, but I kind of get how the goblins worship him, because they're so weak, and he powered them up so much, it kind of made sense.
Right. But, he killed the Wolfpack's leader's father.
Yeah, he killed the Wolfpack's leader's father, or the Wolfpack leader, and then the Wolfpack leader's son steps up as the leader, and they all follow him. Now, that makes sense a little bit, only because they're wolves and they're pack animals, and maybe on a subconscious level, they interpret him as the new pack leader since he killed the leader. I don't know. But that one, alright, I'll give a pass to that one. The other ones are all egregious.
Oh yeah, no. Like the ogres and the orcs and the lizard people, and he just comes across different species and different problems until...
And he's either friendly with them or he beats them in a fight, and then they follow him. Because they realize, oh, you're actually much stronger than me.
And he can create anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, anytime they run into a situation, well, we don't have a solution to this, let's just create it to make it happen.
I'll figure it out. Give me a minute. Give me 30 seconds. I'll figure out this problem.
And the problem is he's got this sage in his head that knows everything.
So he wakes up as a slime in a cave, and he hears a voice in his head, and the voice is the Great Sage, which is, I don't know, a computer system in his head. I don't know, a program talking to him. You don't really ever find out.
I don't know, because it takes over his consciousness at certain points when he allows it.
But it gives him info when he asks things, and it'll, inspect and observe things and deduce things from problems and stuff when he asks it to. But, he'll eat something. He'll eat these magical herbs. He doesn't know they're magical. And then when he comes across someone that's hurt, the Great Sage is like, oh, you have potions. Here you go. Yeah. So now he has an unlimited wealth of high potions, or full potions, whatever they call them.
So it's not like he even needs to figure anything out. He's Google in his head.
He's got a cheat code. And they actually they say that multiple times. He's got cheat codes and stuff.
Yeah, so there is no tension.
The dialogue in this is god awful.
Oh my god.
And it's okay sometimes. Sometimes it's okay. It's mostly okay. And then he talks to himself, or he talks in the middle of a fight. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was kick ass," or he says what a lot. Uh-huh. He's got a bunch of little catchphrases, and they're just so dumb and they're so bad. And his voice is so annoying. And when he was a human for 30 seconds in the first episode, he had a decent voice.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they changed it when he became a slime.
The slime voice is so terrible.
They shouldn't have done that. They should have kept his human voice.
Yeah, no, it's... Oh, man. The first episode is really bad because it's nothing freaking happens, and it's all exposition and explaining, and
that's a lot of that.
And it wouldn't end. It kept going and going until he finally eats the goddamn dragon.
Whenever he has to, talk to the Great Sage, there's a lot of exposition where she's just explaining things.
Yeah.
It's a female voice, so I say she.
It's a robotic female voice, still.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, and that's what he does. He eats things and gains their powers. So he's Mega Man. So no matter how,
and that's the whole show, by the way. Up until very late in the show, that's the entire show. There's a new threat. He either befriends it, which is 99% of the time, or he fights it and wins it almost immediately,
and eats it, and then it gains
its powers. The only time he didn't use the powers that he gained was, I think, when he killed the orc demon lord or whatever, because his power was whatever he eats, he gains their power. I guess he already has that, you know what I mean, as the slime, so it makes sense that he wouldn't have to eat things, but it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, and he builds a city out of monsters, and they become a nation.
Yeah, so the goblins that he finds and names that upgrade to what were they? What did they evolve into? Hobgoblins, yeah. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. No,
because apparently monsters don't have names, and if you give them names, they become more powerful. And I don't know if
I can see why that would work in a dimension world, in a D&D type world. I don't like it. You know what I mean? But especially with the game mechanics, it kind of makes sense. Oh, here's a big level up.
Yeah, it makes sense to level up, but the way it goes about it, I mean, the whole name thing is interesting, but it's reversed here because it's usually you have a true name, and if you and you're trying to hide it with other names. Yeah, it's not.
It's a different interpretation of the whole name.
Yeah, and it's kind of
probably not for the better.
No, it cheapens it really.
I think it does. Yes,
he names about 1 million people,
and he only gets tired when he names either a lot of people that are low level or someone that's stronger and a couple of them. Anyway, so he finds these goblins, comes across them. They're pretty much all children. They're all children's size. I guess they don't eat well because they don't have their own town. They're just kind of running around trying to fend for themselves. But they're all, like, children-sized, too. Not just, like... Yeah. They are clearly hungry, but they're also very small.
They're also very scrawny and weak.
Mm-hmm. And he names them, and when he names them all, he runs out of power, magical energy, so he has to sleep for 3 days. When he wakes up, not only are they all hobgoblins, but they're much bigger, right? Except for, like, 2 of them. They're much, much bigger. And the women went from little girls to, my tits are falling out of my rags. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird, because, like, wasn't that a little girl last episode?
Yeah, well, everything over-sexualized in this.
For sure. But that I found that part a little gross.
If you notice, all the monsters get names and get changed into humans so they can be put in skimpy outfits.
All the women monsters.
Yes.
And all the men monsters get changed so they can fight.
Yes.
Some of the women monsters evolve and they fight too. But they still have gigantic tits.
And they're all skimpy outfits.
Yeah.
Except for the priestess girl that he eats to become human.
Mm-hmm. But that gives him a body, a physical body, one that he can change. And in the first episode of him doing it, he gives himself a female body with big ass tits for a moment. Yeah. And then he gets rid of it.
But he doesn't have any privates.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, not that I care, but it's weird.
It's a weird thing to add there. Mm-hmm. You're sexualized just because you don't have a sex doesn't mean you're sexualized and everything else is not okay.
Yeah, so one of my issues, not a lot of issues, was he gets this town of hobgoblins after he names them. They become hobgoblins. And they're almost immediately irrelevant. They never fight anymore.
I know. You know what it's missing? They should have got the Goblin Slayer to take care of this.
That would have been awesome. Goblin Slayer dies in his world and gets reincarnated here. Just starts murdering all these innocent goblins.
Yep. Big
goblin titties die.
I don't care. You're a goblin.
But it really upset me that there was a lot of time in upgrading these goblins, their town, their weaponry, their armor. There was a lot of time in educating them on how to build things, right? And they're never really used in battle.
But then we have to go get the dwarfs, and then we have to go get the ogres, and then the lizard men, and then the orcs, and then combine them all into a giant city.
Yeah, I don't think we can go through every single thing, because we'll be here forever. One thing that upset me was the Dwarven City, was that the king or the leader, I'm not sure which he was clearly human. He was tall.
Oh, yeah.
Much taller than any of the dwarves that they showed.
He was the Dwarven hero.
Yeah, he was he had a very deep voice, but he was clearly human. He was 6'5".
Yeah, he wasn't
not a dwarf.
At all.
It didn't make any sense.
And he banished the slime from his city and then goes make an alliance with that same banished slime. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It really doesn't.
And then, this goes on for 20 episodes.
Yes. Somewhere until he's set up in such a point where he's got alliances with the Dwarven King, got alliances with the humans, where he's like, okay, I can now do what Shizu wanted.
That's the priestess.
I remembered her name.
Yes, you did.
The priestess that had Ifrit locked inside of her and kind of burned herself out. So for some reason he couldn't heal her with his magic potions.
Yeah, no. And for some reason, she died of old age, but yes, she doesn't age. Did that make sense to you?
No, it didn't make any sense. She looked like she was 16.
No, she literally says, I don't look it, but I'm really, really old. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's how dying of old age works.
No, it doesn't. It would make sense if she was a witch and, Yennefer or whatever changes her appearance, a lot of witches do, so they look young forever. That would still make sense. You could die while looking young.
Yeah, but that's not how they explain that.
No, that is definitely not it. Anyway, so she dies and the slime eats her. But before he eats her, she says, hey, my dying wish is for you to go help these kids.
No, it's to go find the Demon Lord.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the Demon Lord. She said nothing about the kids. The kids were added on later. She just happened to mention the kids while they were talking one time.
Well, anyway, he goes and finds the kids, and he takes it upon himself for Shizu to fix these kids. These kids,
Hold on. So he's a slime most of it. So he goes, but the kids are in a human village, so now he turns human and goes to the thing, and they just make him a teacher because he makes manga for the head school.
Well, the head school guy is also from the other world.
So he was reincarnated as a slime, but apparently mages can summon people from our world to this world, and
with a summon which takes over 30 mages,
something like that, or
X amount of mages in 30 days,
or a demon lord apparently, because
whatever.
He can just
but when they do it, a lot of times it fails, or it succeeds, but it's a child,
right?
And if it's a child, their body can't handle the magic, apparently, and eventually they'll burn out.
No, what it is they have too much magicules in their system.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because they always bind them with something.
But it's not just kids, it's all of them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess Shizu was going to burn, but she lives for so long that didn't make any sense.
Because she had Ifrit installed in her.
Okay.
So that's why they have to install spirits in these kids in order to do it. But no one can.
Right.
But no one can figure out. You have
How
to
to
install spirits into them, and then he just shows up and does it because he's the
he figures it out eventually
because he figures everything out. And it's annoying.
It did. At least it took him a couple episodes.
I don't understand how this world survived without him.
Yeah, because all these problems arise and no one can fix it, and then he figures it out.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he cheats and uses stuff that he shouldn't be able to use, but still does it. And at one point, and I know this is the OVA, he's doing surgery on a woman.
Surgery?
Yeah. Did you watch the OVAs?
No.
I did.
I clicked through 24.5.
No, the actual OVA episodes.
Yeah.
No, I went through them. So eventually they put spirits in the kids. Two of them get actual spirits. The other one are like made spirits, I guess, from leftover spirit dust. I don't know what's going on. And then it just kind of ends with him going back home.
Then the queen thing like pops up, and she's dangerous, but she jumps on the girl that kind of resembles Shizu a bit.
Right.
And that's her spirit. And everything's fine.
Right. And then he goes home, and it's set up for season 2, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's more to be done. It's not. Right. It doesn't feel like it's over, but I'm glad it was.
Yeah. So the 24.5 one was a recap episode with the stupid dragon and Ifrit because I
clicked through that too.
They were eaten by the slime, and so they're playing chess, I guess, or something.
That would be kind of fun if everything he ate was in there, even if they were dead. They were just sitting around in there. That would have been pretty cool. Like all the Magicule crystals that he ate were just sitting in a pile.
Right.
That would have been kind of fun.
But they're still inside them, and they're recapping the episode from their point of view, which is stupid. The 24.91 was just a straight up recap episode, which was a waste of time. The first OVA was actually kind of interesting because it was a flashback episode with Shizu.
I clicked through that too.
Yeah, so that one was okay. Mm-hmm. Anytime there's an episode without the slime in it, it's actually okay.
It's better.
Yeah, it's interesting because the world's not bad.
Yeah, the world's not terrible.
It's kind of interesting when it's not focused on the stupid slime. And then the second OVA was everyone just works too hard in the city, so he comes up with a sport, and they're going to do sumo wrestling.
Thank God.
And, but, all the girls, so the girls are one class, the guys are the other. The guy's reward is using that attractive princess ogre as a pillow.
Oh, God.
And the girls want a date with the slime, because of course they do.
Oh, of course.
And then the two main girls that are always fighting over them end up winning, but they break the ring, so now they have to butt sumo. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh my God, I'm really happy I didn't watch this.
Yeah, so...
It's not a thing, at least I don't think it is.
I think it is.
I'm going to YouTube butt sumo and see
I don't think that's what it's called, but you stand behind each other and you just use your butt, and it was just an excuse to make it look like,
sexy.
You make, they're hitting each other like that. But they made it sound like it was a real sport, so maybe it is.
I would like to say I'll do research on it, but I probably won't.
You won't.
I might Google it.
And then, the rest of the OVAs are just focused on him and with the kids.
Okay.
And, they go through a test, and then one of the teachers makes a deal with the demon that showed up at the end of the last episode. Mm-hmm. And he promised, because he owed Shizu a favor, and he wanted to make up for it. And the deal was the teacher's not allowed to mention who he was. Because I think he's going to be the antagonist for the second season.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, so, what do you think?
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. It's sort of shonen, sort of, because they're fighting a lot and getting stronger.
Well, no, they're not.
Well, he is. He's always getting stronger.
Yeah, I mean, but my distaste for it, but I understand why people like it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's in my opinion, it would be like a good first anime in the sense that, I don't even know about that, but if you liked it when you were 13 or 14, I'd understand.
Yeah,
I completely understand why you would like it. As an adult, there's not enough depth.
So
there's no depth.
I guess my balance score would probably be a 5.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. I would go 3 personally.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4.
But a balanced one, because I do get why people like it, I would say 5.
Yeah, 4 for me. Maybe you'll like it. Yeah, not me.
It's just not for us. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of crap in it for us.
All right, so what else is in T?
Oh, crap.
I told you.
Trigun.
Tsunere.
Do you remember what that was?
Nope.
Archery.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was the Galaxy Railways.
Oh, Christ.
But this was also the Master of Ragnarok one, but wasn't finished, so that's the extra one.
We watched that, right?
Yeah, it was the phone in the other world, where you had to keep the charge of the phone. It was a harem.
Oh, right. Yeah. That wasn't very good.
No.
But it was better than this. At least I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
Wow. Trigun.
Easily. Honestly, I think I have to go this.
This?
I think I have to go this. The stupid
I think the thing is, like, the Master of Ragnarok and this have the same issue.
No.
In different levels, but he's better than everyone else. He's got the phone that fixes everything.
Yeah, but the problem with that one is that was pure harem, and I hate
that. That was pure harem.
That was too much shit.
Yeah.
But, so, I think I have to go Trigun, the archery one.
Really?
Because I hated that Master of Ragnarok one. But then it's the Master of Ragnarok because there's no way the Galaxy Railways beats anything.
Trigun? I'm kind of torn between Master of Ragnarok and this. I can't remember how bad Master of Ragnarok was.
But you remember it was bad, which is impressive.
I do, but this was also really bad. So I'm going to go Master of Ragnarok, then Archery and Galaxy Railways. And the only reason why the Archery one isn't last is because Galaxy Railways is in this category.
Galaxy Railways. We remember the Galaxy Railways about how bad that was.
Oh, that was god-awful. Like, it's so bad. How can you not remember every, terrible moment of that?
Yeah, we could do another full review on that one
right now,
and not have any issues.
Not miss a beat.
That's how bad that one was.
All right, guys, spinning for category U.
It's not a large one.
It's not a large one, and I didn't click through anything, but the names look terrible. They don't look very good at all. Am I getting a pick?
You're getting a pick.
Is a pick within this one? Oh, we're going it within this one though.
Okay.
I hate to do that. But I don't want to spin again against something terrible. So, you want to look live or do you want to pause?
Let's pause because there's not a lot, but there's enough that it might take us 10 minutes or so.
Gotcha. Be right back. All right, so TJ talked me out of this.
Because it's not... I wouldn't want to waste something that I get to choose on, crap. Would you?
Yeah, we clicked through all... I think there's 12 of them, something like that. And they're all... looking really bad. Yeah, good. One of them looks okay, maybe. Where's Shawn's pick?
It should be somewhere there. There we go.
Alright, we're going to spin again in just a moment.
And just let the randomness torture us. Oh, we didn't get that. Alright, and now...
Oh, I think... No, it was so close. Oh, we got it. The one that looked a quarter decent we actually got on the spin. So who knows? Maybe it won't be so bad. I read a tiny bit of the manga. It looked fairly interesting, but I just couldn't.
You didn't say the name.
UQ Holder.
UQ Holder.
I think it's one of those where the guy's super overpowered. I think we're getting another one of those. In the decades since the world became aware of the existence of magic, the world has undergone massive upheaval. However, a boy named Touta lives in seclusion in a rural town far removed from these changes. His ordinary life is highlighted by his magic-using female teacher and his supportive friends. When his tranquil daily life is disrupted, he embarks on a unique adventure. Maybe I read something else. I don't remember any of that.
Wow, it is a shonen.
It is shonen. 12 episodes. What are the tags? Shonen, sci-fi, magic, fantasy, action.
It doesn't have any of the bad tags. Doesn't mean it's not going to be bad, though.
The cover art looks like a generic shonen.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd rather have a generic shonen than a bad.
And the rest of those things looked really bad.
They did.
They looked really bad.
Aren't you glad you didn't waste your pick?
I'm kind of glad. All right, guys. Next episode, UQ Holder.
Bye.